Welcome to episode 2 of Hoops ETC podcast. Cleve, how many limits are there?
No limits, Ozzy.
There are no limits. There are no limits in this podcast. I just want to take a quick second to thank our listeners of the first podcast going in. We had little to no expectations. So I just want to thank all the people that reached out to us, showed support, people that subscribed, people that watched the videos, people that liked it. It really means a lot to us. We're going to keep striving to bring you good content. And speaking of good content, our guest today, he doesn't need much of an introduction, but we're going to give him one anyway. He led Division I in total points. He is first team All Big Ten. He is the Big Ten tournament MVP. He finished third in voting for AP Player of the Year. He's one of 4 finalists for Naismith Player of the Year. One of 5 finalists for one award. He is the Carl Malone Award winner for Best Power Forward in the country. He is a consensus first-team All-American, a projected lottery pick in this upcoming NBA draft, and most importantly, a fellow Cedar Rapidian. Thanks so much for joining us today, and welcome to the show, Keegan.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be on here.
All right, let's get right into it. So you were just in New Orleans, right? For was that the Naismith Awards, right?
Yeah, it was for the Naismith.
All right. Why don't you talk a little bit about that experience? Obviously, a lot of big names down there, a lot of people that you met. How was that for you?
Yeah, so I was down there with the other 4 finalists. So that was Ochai from Kansas. He wasn't at the dinners or anything because he was playing in the Final Four, but Oscar, Sheboy, and Johnny Davis was also down there. So got to hang out with them a little bit. Let's see. I went to the Duke North Carolina game. So I got to see that. That was a good game. It was pretty back and forth the whole time. There was a ceremony Sunday. Went to that and talked to a lot of cool people. I talked to Christian Leitner for a while. He actually sat at our table during the ceremony. So that was pretty cool. Met Charles Barkley on the street. You guys probably saw that on social media. Yeah, so that was cool to run to him. But yeah, we're actually in North Carolina's hotel, so it was pretty wild. But yeah, New Orleans is a crazy city if you've ever been there. So it was an experience.
I bet. All right, so let's get it. I want to talk about this. Obviously, freshman year, you had a great freshman year. And then the leap from your freshman year to sophomore year was obviously an incredible leap. Can you get into a little bit about what last offseason for you looked like, the things you focused on, the amount of time you spent on it, stuff like that?
Yeah, for me, it was kind of my freshman year. I really didn't have the ball in my hands that much, if at all. And my job was pretty much to guard people, get rebounds, get easy buckets, things like that, and space the floor. So for me, just going in to my sophomore season, I knew I was going to get the ball in my hands more. So I was just really working on moves to the basket, ways I can get open, and things like that, dribble penetration, different finishes. And I obviously got more athletic, got stronger in the weight room, so that helped a lot because the Big Ten is really physical, and we're an undersized team. So sometimes me or Chris had to play the 5, which was tough. But I just try to work on my conditioning too, because I knew I had to be in better condition than anyone else on the court. So I really just worked on that a lot. Got myself in best shape as I could to play 40 minutes.
Willie, Monte, you got any questions? Go ahead, jump in whenever.
You can go ahead, Monte.
Yeah, so like you talked about before, like New Orleans is a crazy place. I just wanted what was the craziest fan interaction that you've had? Because like as of lately, throughout this year and stuff like that, you're a big time name. So there's a bunch of people that are probably asking, even up here too, that are like for pictures and stuff like that. So what might have been like the wildest interaction you've had with a fan already?
I would say it's probably the stuff like I've heard on social media. Like it's just like people that really like don't know your life that would say like crazy things, like they know you, and like they'll say that they know you, and like he's thinking this or he's thinking that, and like I've never talked to that person in my life or even know that person. So that's wild. But like fan interactions, like there's like this one time I was walking down the street. I literally had my hood up and I had a mask on, and this person just yells out of their car, and they're like, Keegan, 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 and they're just like, what are you doing next year, like for the draft? And I'm like, I don't even know how like they knew who I was, because like I try and wear my hood up so that people wouldn't notice me. So I mean, it's just little things like that, or like I'll walk to class and people will just take a picture with me and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
It's different.
Speaking of the draft, obviously a week ago today, you declared for the NBA draft. I'm just curious, for a guy like you who, every mock draft in the country has you going at least top 10 pick. Is it an easy decision to leave Iowa, or is it kind of tempting to go back, especially the way the season ended? Obviously, your relationships you've built at Iowa. Is it a much harder decision than most people believe it is?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty hard decision, because obviously I planned on going to Iowa for 4 years and doing my work there. So that was kind of tough just to have it cut short. But I knew that it was in my best interest, because obviously the goal as a basketball player is to get to the NBA. And I want to achieve that goal. So I felt like this year was my best year to go do that, with everything that I've done this year. And the coaches supported my decision in that, and that's really all I needed.
Monte, go ahead.
Yeah. So you said that you planned on going to Iowa for 4 years. And I know, like, at Prairie, because we all know you growing up and stuff like that, playing with you and against you and stuff like that. And over at Prairie, like, what was that decision leading up to go into play, like that post grad year that you did down in Daytona and stuff like that? Like, what was like some of the thought process going to that? Were you like looking like, I already know that, like, if I go here and I do what I have to do, I can come back up and go to Iowa? Or was it just like, this is what I need to do to get to that next level?
Yeah, so I really didn't even want to go to prep school. Like I really just wanted to stay in the Midwest and go to school up here, whether that was a JUCO or a Division two. And I really, my dad kind of just talked me into it and going down there, and I really didn't know where I was going to end up. When I went down there, I just knew that I had an extra year to get better. So I really had no expectations of what was going to happen, and Iowa ended up being my first offer. Fran went down and watched our practice in September, and then they sent another coach down to our first game in October. So after that, they called me for an official visit, and I committed on the spot.
And was it at the same time, the same like timetable for Chris as well?
Yeah, it was the exact same time frame. Yeah.
Willie, you got anything?
Yeah. So I was gonna ask, who, like, even though you've only been there for these 2 years and stuff, who would you say has like been the most helpful to develop your game?
Yeah, I'd probably say last year it was Luca and Wheezy. They're the two guys I had to guard in practice every day in the preseason. But because I remember Jack Nundy was out with his knee and Josh was out for some reason. I forgot what it was, but we didn't have any bigs, so it was me and Chris guarding Luca. But other than that, I was chasing Wheezy around, so that kind of just developed me into a college player and just the speed of the game, and I felt like that helped a lot. And then this year, I think it was Connor McCaffrey. He kind of just told me how good I was every single day, and kind of established that confidence in me in the summer. And I felt like he was a big reason why I have the confidence that I have today, and why I was able to be successful this season.
Good stuff. All right. So obviously you put your name into the draft. What's kind of next in that process? Obviously interviews, workouts, combine, pro day. What's next for you?
Yeah. So next week I leave sometime during to go to Chicago to train for the combine, which is middle of May. So I have about a month to get ready for that. And then after that is where I have to go meet teams, do interviews, do workouts with different teams leading up to the draft. And then the draft is, I think, mid June, late June. So I'll do that, and then figure it out from there where I go. Go to the market team and play summer league. So that's the plan right now.
Do you plan on attending the draft? I know a lot of dudes don't. Are you planning on going?
I think I will. I haven't really decided yet on what I'm gonna do. Obviously that depends on where your draft position is leading up to it, and there's months ahead of that. So that'll probably be a family decision. But I think it'd be pretty cool to go down there and kind of check it out for myself and see what that's all like.
For sure. You guys got anything?
Yeah, I got a quick question. Say if you had to choose like any team you would like to be drafted to, what team are you picking?
I mean, I really didn't have a favorite team growing up. But I mean, really any team that wants me. Like, I don't really have like a favorite like place I want to go, or like city or anything like that. Like, I kind of really just want to go anywhere where I can be successful. And obviously I'll learn more through that in the process, but kind of any team that I feel like will be good for me and my success in my future, because I want to play in the NBA as long as I can. When I go to a team that wants me or thinks I can be a long-term deal, then that's not really a team I want to go to.
Yeah.
Monte?
Yeah. So to go back a couple of steps, I know you talked about how you didn't really want to go down to Florida and stuff like that to start, and you're looking at like JUCOs up here in the Midwest. We have a D-Mac Bayer here and Willie Guy. What could have been the national champion?
National champ, yeah.
National champ. What could have been the chance? Because I've heard some stuff that like there's a possibility of you trying to go JUCO to like DMAC or something like that. What could have been the possibility of that? Would you think?
Yeah, it was either DMAC or Kirkwood for me.
Look at his smile. Look at his smile.
Yeah, but both of those schools, to be honest. But yeah, those are the two schools that are JUCO schools that recruited me, and I like both of them. So
yeah.
If you had to choose, which one would you have been? I gotta know.
It would have been Kirkwood. It would have been Kirkwood.
No. He's a Cedar Rapidian through and through. He would have stayed.
Yeah.
Cleve, you got anything? Or are you cooling up there?
I'm good.
All right.
I like it.
Chilling.
What is playing at Iowa? What in your 2 years there? What is your favorite moment or memory, whether it's off the court, on the floor? What would that be?
Shoot, I mean, it'd have to be winning the Big Ten championship. Because like if you think about it, like every game we had down there was crazy. Like we played Northwestern and we scored 112 points and broke a bunch of records. Then we played Rutgers, and that was kind of a grinded out game. There's a lot of technicals and fouls. It was just wild. And that's I think that's when I passed Luka for the scoring record. And then we played Indiana, and we were down 9 with like after the last media timeout, came back and beat them on a buzzer beater. And then obviously beat Purdue when we haven't beat them all year, which was pretty crazy. So I just think that kind of weekend was probably my best memory.
So obviously when I introduced you, there's a lot of accolades, a lot of things that you accomplished this year. Which one make you kind of like, when you sit back and kind of think about it, which one are you kind of like most proud of, or kind of like, wow, like I really accomplished this?
Yeah, I think it's the first team honors and finals for the awards, because like, I mean, growing up, you're like I really didn't expect me to be at this point. I felt like it was kind of a reach, but especially last year after Luka, I was like, I'd walk into the office and there'd be a Naismith trophy just sitting there, and I always wanted to get there, but I didn't know if I could get there this year, and that was kind of motivation for me. And just kind of looking, like during the season, I really didn't realize it, but looking back on it, it's kind of surreal, to be honest.
Monte, Willie, anything?
Go ahead, Monte, if you got anything.
Yeah. So you've been up there 2 years, and if the people that don't know, you have an identical twin in Chris. Who on the team would have or like most often mistake you for Chris or mistake Chris for you up there?
Yeah. So last year, like really no one knew like how you could tell the difference. Like everyone would just call us everyone would just call us twins because that was like the easiest thing. But that was last year. But like I would say it'd be like our coaches. Like I feel like Fran can tell the difference, but everyone else is kind of black and white. Like I don't know, like they'll mix us up, like especially our lifting coach. Like he doesn't know, he can't tell us apart like if we don't have our jerseys on, which I give him crap on it every day, but yeah, but
I'm not
I
gonna
mean
lie. Go ahead.
yeah, I think if we stayed for 4 years, people would. If I stayed for 2 more years, people still wouldn't around here wouldn't get us figured out. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I told these guys come in. I said Chris could log on, and I wouldn't know the difference. I wouldn't be able
it's
to.
tough. Like it's tough. Like I feel like the more we've gotten older, the more we looked alike, which is wild.
Yeah.
But
All right. Good. Any more questions? I'm out of my written
I
ones.
got you one. What is your favorite place to play outside of Carver this year or any years through college?
yeah. Shoot. I'd say
Favorite,
the
favorite or toughest?
third or toughest. I'd say venue wise, we played at Lucas Oil Stadium for the Big Ten tournament last year. That was probably just the coolest like place. Venue wise, we played at Purdue this year. I didn't play in that game. I sprained my ankle, but that place was nuts. Like
Yeah.
like half of it was students and they were all like synchronized and their chants and stuff. That was wild. Illinois, we played at their place last game of the year, and that was crazy. I mean, I think they're playing for a Big Ten championship, and like it was sold out, and everyone was going wild the entire game. So yeah, probably those two places.
I got another one for you. Who is the best player you played in college? What do you think? Or the toughest matchup for you?
Toughest matchup. Oh, shoot. Trying to think. I mean, playing against Luca in practice, but another player, Travion Williams, he's pretty good. This is he's skilled post player. I'd probably say he's probably one of the toughest I've had to guard. Yeah, like one-on-one wise, he's really good. He's strong,
Yeah,
and quick, athletic. Yeah, can pass.
All right. I was gonna ask you about obviously last year you played with no fans in the buildings, right?
Yeah.
I guess my question is when you have thousands of people, is home court advantage really like truly a real thing, especially with fans? Like, is there a big difference? Like, talk about the difference between the not having fans and the fans.
Yeah, I think there's a home court advantage regardless, just because of familiarity with the court and the venue. But I think for this year, like you could tell that there's a home court advantage. Like last year we went to Michigan State and won by 30, and like if we went there last year and played them with fans, I feel like it had been a completely different story. Just because they have one of the best fan bases. But yeah, I think there's definitely home court advantages for some teams. Like Purdue's got a crazy one. Illinois, Rutgers is wild. Yeah, there's a lot of Michigan's really good. Michigan State, yeah.
Monte, you got anything?
No, I was just gonna talk about like if you had another sport, because we all played against each other growing up, especially like me, you and Willie played against each other and like with each other for some tournaments and stuff like that. Like if there's another sport you could have done, because I know you guys made your own like baseball team and you play with like the legacy baseball team and stuff like that. Is there another sport that you could have done that you would have like attempted to do throughout high school or like go at harder, or is it just all basketball for you?
I think it would have been baseball. I mean, we lost to Willie team all the time, but baseball. That was probably my second best sport. I mean, I was a lefty. I pitched. I played first base. I was kind of tall, but I feel like that was probably my second best sport. It just like every time I pitched, it hurt my arm. And I hate that. Like Willie probably knows what that's like, but
Yeah.
I hated that. Like it just yeah. And
What
it's
about golf? 'Cause I know you and Chris golfed in high school. You enjoy doing that in free time, or is that just something you kind of just picked up?
yeah, it's just a hobby. Like I'm like the most average golfer you'll see, but yeah, I just picked it up. My grandpa, he worked on a golf course when we were younger, so anytime I go to his house, we just go to the course. So it's kind of a thing I've been doing my whole life, but yeah, it's definitely baseball. Definitely baseball.
All right. I'm just kind of curious. How often do you still talk to Luca or Reese Camp? How often do you talk to those guys still?
Yeah, I talk. So me and Weezy, we're in the same agency. So we've talked a lot throughout the season. And I'll continue to be in communication with him. We'll still be close, working out together and things like that. Luca has talked to me a lot this year. He's really kind of given me advice throughout the season, periodically, and things like that, and just how proud he is of me and what I've done. So that's been pretty cool for him to reach out and things like that. So I've been in contact with both of them throughout the season, so which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and for like even just the younger viewers and hoopers on here, and just anybody who plays at all, how special is that to you to have those guys that have came before you and kind of paved the way for your success, and have them in your corner, giving you that confidence?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's definitely like it's kind of a brotherhood here. It's kind of a family atmosphere. I mean, we have a lot of siblings on our team, especially last year. So it's really a family atmosphere. And I mean, just to have someone look up to as a freshman coming into a high major program was something that I really needed. I felt like I wouldn't have the success this year if I didn't go through that last year. So I really just tried to learn from them as much as I could. And yeah, they've been really good friends to me for sure.
Nice.
All right, you guys got anything else, or we want to jump into this rapid fire stuff?
Yeah, I don't want to bring up high school when we were getting cooked by them all the time when they were at Prairie.
You remember when you beat us when we were undefeated, Willie?
I think so. Was sophomore team, right?
Yeah, sophomore team.
Yeah, that was at home, and I think Harry had a last second look. I think it was.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. Yeah. They didn't get too much prettier after that for us.
Did you beat us at all when we played varsity?
I looked those stats up before we got on here.
No.
Oh really?
Yep.
I remember
they were 0 for 4.
You guys got close our senior year, I think.
The first game, I'd say we was close the first game. The second was at our place, y'all destroyed us.
Yeah, I remember when we were because you guys were quick and like had no bigs.
Yeah, our biggest guy was John. He was 6'2".
Yeah, played that 2-3 zone and got torched.
Yeah.
I think you gave us 30. I think you did give us 30, or maybe you and Chris gave us a combined like 55. It was something
combined 55.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah, I think I averaged like 20.
Yeah.
You have a favorite high school game that you ever played in?
Shoot, it was probably my sophomore year. We're at home against West, and they're like number 1. They're like top 20 in the country. And we're like the only Iowa team that beat them that year.
Yeah,
and they ended up winning the state championship, I think. But that was probably beat them at home by like.
I think I was 15. At that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been Patty was on that team, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Patrick, Connor, Sabian, Devontae Lane, Isaiah Fillard.
Yeah,
the team.
They have Distroff on that team at all?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. They're deep. They're a good team.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know how we beat them.
Y'all probably shot the lights out that game.
No, we did. I hit 6 threes. I think we hit like 18 threes that game or something. But then a couple weeks later, we went at their place, lost by 30.
Yeah.
So.
You guys would have had Griff, right? Griff Clark. That would have been.
Yeah, we had Griff. Yep.
All right, so let's jump into this. So it's just rapid fire questions. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. Just kind of the first thing that comes to mind. I got about 8 to 10 questions here I want to ask you.
No wrong answers.
Right. Yeah, no wrong answers. All
right. So what's the best restaurant in Iowa City?
Shoot. Crap. Joseph. That's
Best restaurant in Cedar Rapids.
Irish Democrat.
That's a good answer. Which one's better? Iowa City or Cedar Rapids?
Cedar Rapids.
Which restaurant?
Oh,
There it is,
Irish Democrat.
Good answer. You kind of touched on this already, but when you're not hooping, what are you doing? Like, what's your favorite hobby?
Shoot. Chilling. I mean, golf, Netflix. Like, I'm really just chilling if I'm not hooping.
All right. Again, you kind of answered this already, but hardest place to play in the Big Ten?
Purdue. Mackey Arena.
NBA player that you are most excited to play against?
LeBron. Yeah.
Answer.
Good.
All right, what's your favorite rapper?
Rod Wave.
Really good answer.
Really good answer.
Yeah. He goes so hard.
Yeah.
I got hooked on him when I was down in Florida, and it was
I bet.
yeah. It was wild, but yeah.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Shoot, it was Megan Good. Have you ever seen South
Okay.
Yard? You ever seen
Yeah.
South Yard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
All right. It's you, J-Bo, and Austin Ash in a 3-point contest. Who's winning that?
J-Bo. I'd say J-Bo.
I was hoping you'd say yourself. So
Nah, I go with one of them too.
all right. You guys got anything else? Anything
Favorite
final
movie?
thoughts?
Favorite movie.
It's Stomp the Yard. Like I can't I've watched that movie so much, and I like every road trip for AAU and like at baseball, like I always put it on. I still watch it to this day. So yeah.
All right, good stuff, Keegan. I just want to again thank you so much for coming on. It really means a lot to us. Best of luck to you in this upcoming process and your future years in the NBA. I hope to watch you for a really long time.
Appreciate it, man. Good luck with your podcast. I know you guys are just starting.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Good luck. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you. See ya.
Take care.
Yeah.
Deuces.